How's it going, YouTube? It's Isaac from True Champion Gaming, and today, as the title says, I got a little bit more of a spicy one for you today. It's Geldus Fire Allen. Now, apparently I become the one to give you guys the more unique decks, the decks that aren't always meta or a little more off-brand than what we typically put up here. Stuff from our tournaments or whatever it might be, super competitive decks. But I do think there's something here. Now, if you don't know, I love Allen. I want Allen to be a great champion for people to run. It's not quite there. We're missing, maybe some songs and melodies, some animals and beasts to really push it, but we're getting there. We're getting close, let me tell you that. So let's just jump right in. We got Spirit of Fire. So Fire Allen, Spirit of Fire, gives us access to, the strength of fire, so makes a lot of sense there. Sylvie, it's Sylvie, and maybe more importantly, it's Allen. So we are starting the Sylvie thing just for that beast and animal buff for the Tamer class bonus, so we kind of have to go Sylvie. And then we got our beautiful Allen here. I had to go the CSR. It's the only CSR I own. I actually own two of them, and they're both Allen. So Allen, on enter, is allowing us to glimpse 3. We only run 1 melody in this deck. So we aren't hitting that much, but the main thing is that we get to dig 3, honestly. So I have many times just, looked at 3. There's no melody there. That's totally fine. We are then revealing it, kind of a button, but we're going to draw it and most likely play it if we're keeping it on top. And then, of course, the other part of this, which is as long as you control 2 or more animal and or beasts, allies, Allen gets +2 levels. So he's actually level 4 when you have 2 animals or beasts on board. This allows us to turn on a lot of the effects in the deck that make it really strong to really push this further than we've ever had with an Allen deck before, I would say. So some safety options with Tariff and Safeguard Amulet. Honestly, the material deck still work in progress. Kind of threw in stuff that just made sense that you just might want, that was needed in the deck, and just kind of felt good, but definitely a lot of playability here. Tariff and Amulet, obviously ally aggressive decks that are swinging. Tariff, erupting, Rye, anything dealing non-attack damage, Safeguard Amulet. Makes sense there. Then we have a lot of the Tamer stuff, which is Flute of Taming, and I'll also put Beast Bond Ears on here. This is our only 1-cost Regalia in the deck, and so, there's a lot of times after we're level 2, we do have Floating Memory in here, so again, I think this is one in testing. We did test this actually, and it played pretty okay, so that's why we're bringing it up. In testing, this card was there, didn't come up too much because I could have just gone Beast Bond Ears. But it's also a 1-cost, which is a big deal in this game because there's a lot of 0-cost Destroy Regalia. And if we really need that level, then Flute of Taming is going to be much more helpful there than Beast Bond Ears is going to be. Could replace it with something like even just like anything that draws. If we have extra floating memory and we can draw like, Orb of Glitter, would be totally fine, acceptable, I think. But just been playing with Flute of Taming, and it's been, it performed as adequately as I thought it might. Beast Bomb Boots, a little more that protection from like Rye. As more Spell Shroud things occur and the game grows, this card is just getting better and better. So we have beasts in the deck, and animals in the deck, so might as well run it in the main to help stop us against just blowing up on a turn. Beast Bond Pause. Yes, we're running every single Beast Bond Regalia item you can in this deck. Target animal and or beast ally you control gets +1 attack, and True Sight. That's the main part, is that it gets True Sight. That allows us to kill those Dream Fairies, Snow Fairies, Lurking Assailants even. A lot of stuff that this is really helpful, and having the main really, really helps. Beast Soul Visage. So this is an interesting one. We can link this to our own allies, give them + attack, making something a beast maybe if it's not already a beast, turning on some combos. Or, we actually get to maybe put this on an opposing animal an opposing ally to stop it from swinging for a couple turns. Maybe if they're like just an ally deck, it's a great thing. Put on an ASIN, it can't intercept. So Beast Soul Visage has a lot of playability there. And then we just have the draws of the deck. We got Grand Crusader Ring, makes sense. Backup Charger, makes sense. These are 2 of the best draw cards in the game. Getting some, utility from Backup Charger with, of course, Turbo Charge in the deck, which we'll get to in a sec. Before we move to the main deck, though, here's Caven with a couple words.
Hey guys, don't forget to go check out our Patreon, linked in the description below. If you've been liking the YouTube content, we have a lot more content on Patreon. We make sure to load up the content over there and make you really feel like the money that you're helping support us with is worth it. Also, to help support us, please use our TCG player affiliate link in the description below. It comes at no cost to you. It just gives us a little bit of a kickback if you use our link. We also have a way for you to save money. If you use code TRUE5, all one word, at dragonshield.com, you are going to save 5% off your order and also help us make a little bit of money for our channel to keep upgrading camera equipment and all that stuff. Don't forget to come out for our June 30th Michigan Ann Arbor MRC Regionals. We have 8 invite cards, the Fancy Lightweavers Assault regional invite cards being given out, guaranteed no matter what our attendance is. So make sure to come out for that. Awesome Sapphire packs as well. It's a regionals that you're not going to want to miss. We are one of the first ones in the season, so you can get your stuff before anyone else. We also have AMB pre-orders up live on our website, also linked below. Go check out that description. There's so many links, so many cool ways to interact with us, to save money, to get ready for the next set. So we have a mega bundle deal up right now. You can get a case as well as one of each starter deck for a really killer price. We try to be super competitive out there, and we appreciate all of your support. Thank you guys so much.
All right, so the main deck. Let's just jump right into it. The animal package, we got Baby Red Slime. This is one of the best slimes that came from the Recollection set from Sylvie. Baby Red Slime, you know, it's attacking, it's recycling, it's, you know, only drawing a card of memories, doesn't draw in a hand. It's a little worse than Hasty, but it is that animal. It can get +1 attack, so it could be swinging for 3 if we're discarding our fire card. Again, just an animal. We do play only one other slime. We don't go into the whole slime thing with, you know, obviously we can't with level 3, but, you know, Baby Red Slime is still very good. Then we have Limitless Slime as a 4-of. This card is really cool in the deck. If you don't know, it has all these class bonuses. We're like, hey, we don't go to level 3. Well, we do go to level 3 in multiple ways if we wanted to. One being just bring out, you know, boots and, or not boots, I'm sorry, ears and flute. We get to level 3 that way, or just Alan's Effect. Alan's Effect makes them level 4 when you have this and another animal or beast on board. And so we can just start swinging and start getting the buff counters on this. It becomes a threat very quickly in this deck, and they have to deal with it, which is very, very cool. Then our last actually animal of the deck is Bedivere. Something I found out very quickly while building this, which was there are very bad animals and beasts, or very few good, I should say, animal or beasts that you want to play in the deck when you're just normal fire. When you're level 3, there's a lot of cool ones. Obviously, if you're, you know, other Sylvie, Slime Sovereign Sylvie, you're getting access to those really cool slimes at level 3, but you know, there's not a lot of cool animals that we want to play. So Bedivere, just here, honestly, as an animal, less so as, you know, a big attacker or anything like that. It can come up that it's getting taunt. It can come up that it could die and give your allies, you know, some buff counters. But honestly, is there to fill that animal role that we need and maybe a taunt if we need it. Then we got the beasts. So the beasts are really cool. Well, 2 of them are pretty cool, and I guess you guys can guess what the first one is going to be, which is Geldus. And yes, it is a 4-of, mainly because we really want to see this card. Geldus is such a strong card. It's giving us, you know, on the turn we play it, Spell Shroud or Taunt, most likely Taunt, to help us, you know, protect us. We can play this still at level 1 and get that effect. We can play this on turn 1 and not get the effect, but we slam a 5/8 on board. Turn 1, you have 7 cards in hand, no matter, because we're not going Spirit. Glimpse Spirit or, you know, Serene Spirit or anything like that. So this is going to just be on the board, most likely. As long as they don't have a Dream Fairy, it's sticking. It's very hard to kill. If they're swinging into it, you can still retaliate and kill off stuff. So that's most likely not happening. Like I said, that taunt is very, very good. Then we got Blazing Direwolf. Now, this card was actually a 2-of in the deck, because I was like, I hate this card. I hate Pride 5. Granted, our deck can actually deal with that Pride 5 pretty easily. You know, we can get to level 4 by having this another animal or slime or beast on board, or slime, I guess. And then having beast spawn ears out or having a flute out. But even then, just going to level 1 Sylvie and then dropping this on board, or, you know, having another card in here that we'll get to eventually, and then playing this, and it becomes a 5/5. A 5/5 is still very, very hard to remove, and it's, you know, allowing our other effects to come online, you know, specifically Alan's Effect, or, you know, a couple other tech cards we have here. So very, very good card, very strong card, one I underestimated until we started testing with it, and it definitely felt a lot better. Capricious Lynx. Capricious Lynx is very good in the deck. Allows us to play at turn 1 as level 1 Sylvie. Becomes a 4/4 that we can swing with, kill off something, hit face, whatever it might be. And if it's a 4/4, it has a really solid chance of surviving until next turn. And so with Alan, and another animal or beast on board, this can actually start swinging, which is really cool. It does have Pride 4, but we can meet that effect very, very easily. And then Ordinary Bear. Honestly, the best and simplest, like, cheap beast that we can run in this deck is Ordinary Bear. Floating Memory, we can discard it off of, we do have Creative Shock that we'll get to, off of that baby red slime, give us that Floating Memory. Like I said, it's only when we're going from level 1 to level 2, we can really utilize that Floating Memory. Otherwise, it's going to be for Flute, which is why I kind of want to mix up and maybe add a couple more cards that cost a little more Floating Memory, or a little more memory in general, that can run in the material deck. That way we can utilize this effect more. And then we're moving on to non-beast, which is Young Beast Bonder as a 4 of, just giving something +1, just an ally, giving it a buff, and this having Floating Memory, so it's a 2 cost 2/2 essentially, very strong. If we hit a beast, 2 cost 3/3 with Floating Memory, very, very good. Allows those beasts to stick on board longer, help us get that, that island effect, help them to swing more often. A card that, honestly, I just didn't see much of in our testing, but I know is very good, especially with the Direwolf count going up, which is Cell Handler. So, Cell Handler, if you don't know what this is, it is a 2 cost 2/1 Tamer Automaton. On enter, up to 1 target animal or beast ally you control loses Pride, and then gets -1 attack until the end of turn. If an ally is an automaton, summon a Power Cell token rested. We're not going to get that secondary effect, but we are going to get that loses Pride, which is really good for Geldus, allow them to swing earlier. Really good for Direwolf, allows it to swing in general or earlier, depending on how long the game goes. And Direwolf is honestly the best target for this. So having Direwolf on board, playing this, it's a 4/4 or maybe a 5/5, so then it loses 1 attack, so it's only attacking for 4. 4 is still very good, or attacking for 3. 3 is still very good to clear off allies. But the main thing is we get to use that on attack effect to help, start dealing some chip damage or help clear off board even more. Deal 2 damage to a target unit is very, very strong when it comes to Cell Handler. You can start using it early. So I very much so like Cell Handler. It's also a great Cremation Ritual target, which we do have in the deck. And then just a 2 of Fanatical Devotee. I lied. Technically, this could give this, get a Power Cell from this. It's not worth it. But if, for whatever reason, you really wanted to, you could. Fanatical Devotee, I did have this as a 4 of, I believe, in the deck. I cut it down to 2 because it didn't fit with how well it meshed in the deck, but it does come up. You still can get that, a 3 cost 3/2 attacker, and then on death, you could actually just deal 3 damage to the target champion, most likely your enemy champion, not yourself. Still very good card. I would run it. I still like it. It still comes up. It's an ally that attacks for 3, still very solid. Another good ally is Lurking Assailant. He is only a 3 of because while it is a really good card, it's not a beast or animal. Just same thing with Fanatical Devotee. It's not doing anything specific to our board, but it is a very, very good card. You can turn, really good turn 1. If you play this on turn 1, you can, and it's sitting there and it survives, you can follow up with a Beast Soul Visage and make it a beast, which is very, very cool. So then it's a 3 cost 4/3. Now we have to be Pride 3 to attack with it, but it does allow those other effects to come online. So maybe you're not doing it necessarily turn 1, but maybe turn 2 or turn 3. This combination can come up and it's very, very good. And then, so that was all the allies for the deck. And then we get a little more tech cards, a little more just like things to fill out the deck, round out the deck. Forest Cake, amazing card. Probably one of the best turn 1s we can have in this deck. Not necessarily, but very, very solid turn 1 to have just to replace it itself so we can level up. We're not losing a resource just by playing a card because it replaces itself. And then eventually we get that buff counter onto an animal or beast. And that is just so, so strong. And then a very expensive card now, which is a 3 of Bestial Frenzy. This was a 2 of, bumped up to 3. Honestly, I might bump up to 4 if I tested this out more. Cleave is very, very strong with Geldus, very, very strong with Direwolf. It's still just fine with pretty good with Lynx, pretty good with a buffed Ordinary Bear or just a normal Ordinary Bear that has your opponent has a board of 3 health units. Very, very strong there, giving us a plus level if we need it, +1 attack if we need it. So just really good diversity to be able to use that you can use with this card and and make it really shine in the deck. Obviously, we're running a lot of beast and animals, or specifically beasts, sorry. That only works on beasts, but still very, very good. And then we got Creative Shock. So, Creative Shock is Creative Shock. Allows us to cycle, really good turn 1 play if we can pitch a Floating Memory for future leveling up or whatever it might be. Honestly, that's all it's in here for, is for cycle, help us find that Geldus more often, maybe Direwolf more often. It's so strong. I mean, we all know what Creative Shock is. Then we got a 3 of Cremation Ritual. So was that a 4 of? Bumped it down to 3 because it wasn't coming up too often. You know, there's a really good target for, you could kill off your own Bedivere if you wanted to give, you know, if you're giving that buff counters to your entire board. But more importantly, it's really good for with Young Beastbinder or that Cell Handler. Both those are 2 great targets just to help refuel some resources or put a Floating Memory in the drop and refuel some resources. So it's just very, very strong with those, which is why it is in here. And then the last 5 cards. So 1, Turbocharge. I don't really need to talk about that. We all get that. And the very, very last card of the deck, which is Blissful Calling. This is the only melody we run in the deck. It's the only thing we can find off of level 2 Alan, or when we go into level 2 for Alan. And while we're not necessarily hitting it all that often, it still is just a very solid card to, again, help us dig for Geldus, help us dig for an animal or beast. I mean, this card is an MVP of the deck. If I could run 8 of this, I probably would, but I can't. So not much more to say about that card. It's just a very, very good card that we like to see. That is it for the deck, guys. I know this isn't probably look like the most competitive deck, but it is a very fun and very good deck still that honestly still needs tweaking. Like I said, I've tested a little bit, haven't done extensive testing with it, still getting ready for, for other events and all that kind of stuff. So in the my free time, I've been messing with it, and we did get some testing in with it. And there's legs. There's some legs there, but still missing something. And I'll tweak it. If I find a better version, I'll let you guys know, of course. But in any case, guys, thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you so much for, if you saw us in Taipei, thank you so much for meeting with us and saying hi to us. I will see you guys in the next one, though. Peace.